Shalom. Why is it that the number of people viewing sports events during the regular season is but a fraction of those who tune in during the playoffs? And why is it that people will spend huge amounts of money to buy tickets for nationally known performing artists, while very talented local artists are ignored? And why is it that Jews will fill their synagogues on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and be mainly absent during the rest of the year? In this week's Torah portion, Tzav, we read about the Olah, that is the burnt offering. Now, this was an offering that was made not just once a year or twice or even 3 times a year. It was made not just on a weekly basis. It was made every day, both morning and evening. Let's take a look at chapter 6 of the book of Leviticus, verses 1 through 4.
The Eternal One spoke to Moses, saying, "Command Aaron and his sons thus. This is the ritual of the burnt offering. The burnt offering itself shall remain where it is burned upon the altar all night until morning, while the fire on the altar is kept going on it. The priest shall dress in linen raiment with linen breeches next to his body, and he shall take up the ashes to which the fire has reduced the burnt offering on the altar, and place them beside the altar. He shall then take off his vestments and put on other vestments, and carry the ashes outside the camp to a pure place."
Notice that the fire on the altar was to be kept burning at all times. The message here seems to be that Judaism isn't just a 1 or 2 day a year religion. Each of us is challenged to establish some regimen of daily practice. The sacrifices made in ancient Israel inform us that we must feed the fire, the spiritual fire, the zeal, the enthusiasm for our spiritual life through daily prayer and other ritual practices. Notice the very disciplined approach of Aaron and his sons to their service to God, their attentiveness to the way they dressed, the detailed way they laid out the daily sacrifices, and their willingness to submit to the mundane task of removing the ashes from the altar. They didn't tell other people to do it. They did it themselves. To continue the sports metaphor, you don't get to the playoffs unless you put in your time during the regular season. You don't even get to play in the regular season unless you sharpen your skills during spring training. So it is in Jewish life. To get the most out of the big events, those big holidays, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Passover, we need to participate in the daily and spiritual practices of our faith. Well, I hope that you will read this week's Torah portion and come to your own conclusions. Shabbat Shalom.